Hello, my name is Aisa Gonzalez, and I'm the volunteer coordinator for Ebony Nutrition. And today we're going to be going over the volunteer orientation. Here at the bottom is my cell phone number in case you need to reach out to me before or during the event. So first, I want to talk about some background information about Ebony Nutrition. We were founded in 1995 by 3 African American registered dietitians, and the reason why that's such a big thing is because less than 20% of dietitians in the United States identify as a minority, and we happen to have 3 in our backyard. So that's pretty cool, and that definitely means that we have a lot of ideas that we are putting on the table, and our overall mission is to just lower chronic dietary diseases by educating the community on basic nutrition and increasing access to quality produce. And so the way that we do that is by hosting nutrition education classes, and then also during those participants that happen to take the class, they also get bags of produce from our Fresh Dot program. So they're not only are they getting nutrition education, but they're also getting bags of quality produce to help with their management of chronic dietary illness. Or if their goal is just to lose weight, kind of helps them do that as well. So why is Ebony hosting this event? So in 2002, April was declared as Minority Health Month as well as Disparities Health Month. And Ebony is just wanting to have an event where the community of 32805 can come together and really take charge of their own health by providing them the resources that they might need to help take control of their own health. And so we have different vendors like insurance companies like Simply, which is our title sponsor. We have Kidney Smart, National Ovarian Cancer. We have artisans. We have more nonprofits that are local in the community, like the Orange County Library System. We have MAD, any organizations that they really think that they can benefit from, they're available. And so it's really just a matter of connecting the resources with the participants that are going to be there. But overall, that is how we are doing it, and that's why we're hosting the event. And we also want to bring awareness to the resources that Ebony brings to the table, which include the access to quality produce, the nutrition education programs, the senior exercise program that we have going on right now called Healthy Souls. We have a kids program, so we have after school programs, and we also have a week in the summer where kids learn how to cook by themselves. We have food demonstrations that we do regularly on our Instagram, and then we have team building opportunities for any organizations that need a team building opportunity. And so overall, we have a lot of stuff going on at Ebony, and we just want the community to continue to be a part of it. So what is your role as a volunteer in the 5K? So first, I want you to arrive safely. If you can make it there from 6 to 7 a.m., that'd be wonderful. But if you arrive a little bit after 7, no harm, no foul. I just appreciate you even taking the time to consider volunteering on a Saturday in April. A lot of people usually tend to enjoy their Saturdays to relax, and you are taking the time to give back to your community, and I am eternally grateful, and so is Ebony. So if there's anything that we can do to help pay you back for volunteering on a Saturday, please feel free to let us know. Next, I'm going to briefly talk about parking because that is one of the volunteer positions. But for any volunteers that are arriving really, really, really early, you can park at the Ebony parking lot. And then any volunteers that are arriving after 7, you can park in the black fenced area that is actually right across the street from Ebony Nutrition, basically where all these blue boxes are. That's where you can park. So the first thing you're going to look for as a volunteer, and you're arriving around 7, is to look for the welcome tent. So the welcome tent is going to be where everybody is going to be told what position they're in if they forgot. And then you're going to receive a gray and red volunteer shirt as a thank you for volunteering. You're going to get a vendor handbook. So if there's any artisans or any resources that you need, you have the opportunity to look at the handbook and then go see them after your position is over, or if the 5K is over and you're just a floater, you can go see them at that time too. The welcome tent will also have water, fruit, and snacks in case you're thirsty or hungry. And you just need a little pick-me-up, by all means, you can go to the welcome tent and get something. And just an FYI, remember this is a Saturday in April, and I don't want anybody to be passing out, so please dress as comfortably as you feel comfortable. If that means you're wearing biker shorts, if you're wearing jean shorts, if you're wearing a tank top, or if you want to just roll the sleeves up on your shirt, that's perfectly fine. So long as you're wearing sneakers and you have your hat and you have your sunscreen, by all means, get comfortable. It's going to be a cooler morning, but it will turn into a very hot afternoon, and I don't want anybody to be taken off guard. I also have a slide in here called Follow the Leader, because if you're volunteering as a group, I would love for one person in that group to maintain contact with me, because anything could happen during the 5K. If somebody's not feeling well and they need to leave early, they can definitely just let me know. If somebody's thirsty at a position, they could let me know. If there's a question that needs to be answered and they don't know how to answer it, feel free to reach out to me. And if your station seems overwhelmed and it just needs support, just let me know. And you can do that by either using the walkie-talkie or by texting me. And my phone number is here again. But if you do text me, please tell me your name and where you are, because it's really easy to get lost in translation, and I won't know who's texting me unless you tell me where you are and who you are. So feel free to text me, save my number, call me, whatever. Just, if you need support, make sure that we know where you are and who you are and what you need. All right, so here's a quick debriefing of all the volunteer positions. We have setup and breakdown, we have the hydration station, we have holding the 5K signs, we have parking, the welcome tent, children's play area monitors, and the event boosters. And so I'm going to briefly go over that. But feel free to pause the video and identify how you registered for the event and who you're volunteering with to know what position you are in. So the setup and breakdown are kind of mirror opposites of each other, but I am going to be just quickly going over what is going to be set up. So first, the blue box with the 30 vendors is going to be an area of setup. We're also going to be setting up the welcome tent, both hydration stations. And then if the Fresh Stop needs anything to be set up, by all means, go ahead and help them out. But overall, we're setting up tents, tables, and chairs. We're also getting water where there needs to be water. We're getting the fruits in their positions, and we are going to be putting names of each vendor on each table so they know where they're going. And then for breakdown, it's basically the opposite. The only thing that I really want everybody to kind of help out with is putting the van, the tables, tents, and chairs into our Fresh Stop van, getting rid of any litter that you happen to see, and assisting any vendors with their materials going to their car. I have many experiences where I'm a vendor at a 5K and I'm struggling and I'm trying my hardest to get everything in one trip because nobody likes to take more than 2 trips. But it's a lot of stuff and it's just difficult sometimes. So I would love for the volunteers that are available, that if you see someone struggling, help them out. But other than that, that's really it for setup and breakdown. For the hydration station, which is Universal's position, there's going to be only 2, one on each opposite side of South Rio Grande. And they're going to be there from the beginning to the end of the event. Now, that second hydration station that's close to Central, we can move that towards the actual event once the 5K is over and trophies have been given out. But at each station, you're going to have water, bananas, and oranges. And then your task at the hydration station is just to keep encouraging those 5K walkers and runners to keep going. If you see somebody getting lightheaded, feel free to offer them some water or a snack. But overall, your position is pretty simple. And then if anybody needs to leave the hydration station to go check the health fair, just let somebody else know and just tag team it. I'm okay with that. Next is the holding of 5K signs. So if you registered on ebony.org, that is your position. I know there's only 6 dots on the picture, but if there are more than 6 volunteers that have signed up for this position and I don't happen to have any more signs for the 5K, feel free to join the hydration stations or feel free to join the event boosters, which I will go over later. But your task as holding the 5K signs is to really just keep encouraging the 5K runners and walkers, making sure they're going in the right direction. And then once the 5K is over, feel free to enjoy the health fair. Next is parking for the Florida Department of Health volunteers. If if you need help orienting how the parking is going to go, I drew a more detailed graphic. In these red highlighted boxes, those are boxes of where the trees that are currently there might be blocking some space. And then this row of highlighted red boxes, that's highlighted because I'm not sure if that's another entrance to the parking area. And so if it is, I would love for that to be another exit. But in total, an estimation of how many cars can fit here is about 76. So feel free to relax and know that all of the participants can definitely fit in here. I'm thinking the best way to organize this is to have 2 parking volunteers at the fences. At the door at the gate, and then having 2 on the inside at a minimum to help orient the cars park the way that they should park. And also I'm sure I don't have to remind you, but there has to be some space for the cars to back out. So please keep that in mind when you're parking cars. But other than that, that's it for the parking segment. If you guys need anything, because it is farther from the 5K, again, feel free to reach out to me through the walkie-talkie or text me. Things like water, snacks, fruit. If you need that, just let me know. All right, next is the welcome tent for more Florida Department of Health volunteers. I would love for a total of 3 to 4 people to be at the welcome tent. One person, which is the staff member, is going to be looking at the bib assignment and whether somebody has paid for their chip time and score or has not paid and is just walking for free. If you don't know, a bib is the number that they have on their shirt when they participate in a 5K. Those who paid for the chip time and score have a little chip inside the bib that records the time. If they didn't pay for the bib or for the chip time and score, then they just have a little paper with a number on it and they pin it to their shirts. But that's there's going to be a staff member checking that. There's going to be a volunteer handing out the 5K the 5K handbooks, one volunteer handing out the t-shirts, and one person signing people in and checking volunteers off as they come in, just so I have a log of the volunteers that did arrive and that didn't or couldn't arrive. Next is the children play area, which is PepsiCo volunteers. There's going to be a lot of activities happening in that area. Unfortunately, I didn't want this to be the case, but the bounce house is on concrete, and so is the inflatable hoops, which means parents need to be really careful with their kids, especially when they're coming out of the bounce house. I'm hoping that I could probably get the entrance of the 5K. The entrance of the bounce house on the grassy part of the concrete, but I'm not sure if the extension cord is that long. So the children's play area monitors are just there to make sure that kids are not overly aggressive in the bounce house. No kids are going in with their shoes on, that nobody's leaning accidentally on the bounce house or on the inflatable hoops. And then if there's an activity going on under the pavilion and nobody's participating, feel free. Any volunteer actually that's in the 5K and that wants to participate in an event that's going on in the pavilion, feel free to do so by all means. Just don't abandon your position. So make sure 1 or 2 people are still in your position to go. If they're just choosing or not to participate in that activity, then feel free. But if you're the only person in that tent, feel free to do the activity if you can at your tent. It's okay. Most likely we're going to have double dutch and workouts happening under the pavilion. We're also going to have the DJ there playing music. And the DJ is from Star 94.5. So if you love that station, you're going to be excited. And then we want vendors to have enough support while they're doing all of the things that they're doing under the pavilion. So please keep that in mind. People that are monitoring the kids, if the kids want to go participate and they're of age and their parents are okay with it, by all means, that's fine. I'm sure I don't have to tell you that, but we overall just want to make sure that all the kids are monitored and nobody's getting hurt, Lastly, if you registered on Eventbrite, you're an event booster. And in short words, an event booster is just a floater. If there's any participants that need help completing their passport at the end of their handbook, which is really just like a little graphic, a square graphic that has a whole bunch of logos that they need to visit in order to get one of the gifts that we are giving away. You can feel free to direct them where they need to go. If there's any litter that you see on the floor, feel free to pick it up and throw it away. In between tasks, we really just want to make sure that people are continuing to participate in the health fair. So if there are any event boosters that need to speak to some resources, by all means. If there is a volunteer position that is empty because the volunteers there want to participate in an activity, an event booster can go and fill in that position. So if you did register on Eventbrite, that is your position. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to contact me. But yeah, so we have finally arrived to the Q&A. If you have any questions or concerns about the 5K and your position, or any clarification thing that you want to go over, you can comment on the video, or you can email or call me or text me with the number. And I'm going to quickly just go back to the front slide where you can see my cell phone number and you can text me through there. But overall, I am excited to meet you all. Thank you so much for volunteering. Thank you so much for watching this video. And I hope that you enjoy the 5K as much as I will. So thank you.